So it's Sunday, and Sundays are for dreamers. I started this series with the intention of finding the people in pursuit of some things, in spite of the fear, in spite of the doubt, in spite of lack of support. And I'm hoping that I can achieve those ends without any guarantee. So here's to the dreamers. Sundays Are for Dreamers is really a mindset more than anything. It is meant to encourage people to make room for both work and rest. And the origins of this, I wrote it on a piece of paper back in May, the month I graduated my master's, the month that marked the last year of my education, or the last bit of my education in a formal sense. And at that time, I had no idea what I was doing or what I would be doing for the summer moving forward. Every day, every week was open. And so while that may seem encouraging, it was daunting and incredibly scary. It was anxiety inducing. And so I wrote Sundays Are for Dreamers to kind of combat some of that angst that I was feeling. And it, rather than approaching Sundays like, oh shit, I haven't figured it out yet, I don't know what Monday brings, I don't know what Tuesday brings, I embraced it as kind of the world of possibilities in a way. And so those weeks, the question was always like, oh, what are you doing today? Or what do you have this week? And I would always say meetings. And on some occasions I did have meetings, but even if I was going out for lunch, or I was just someone was making an informal introduction or facilitating an informal introduction between me and someone else, or whatever the case, I'm like, oh, it's a meeting. And maybe I manifested all the meetings that I get to be a part of at this point, but who's to say? And so Sundays Are for Dreamers is meant, again, to encourage people to make room for nothingness, for rest, for recuperating, for care, because rest is not a privilege. It is, in fact, a right. Following that, I went through the summer. I was doing work that I really enjoyed and I was really curious about, and I was trying to figure out every which way to continue doing that work. And on August 8th, so a few weeks ago, on the same day, I was named to the board of the Reach Project, and I was given a full-time offer at the place that I absolutely adore. And with that, it all seemed to come to a head, or rather it all made sense at that point. And that was all of the work that I did with a problem, with Now I'm a Problem, and Now We're a Problem, and producing these exhibitions or events and trying to bring people together and to raise awareness about particular things and to get people to think a little bit differently about themselves and about the people around them, about the people that they love, etc. These dreams, these visions, these very nebulous, out of nowhere kind of things made sense because there was room for them. That experience or those experiences that I created for myself with the trust and love and support of the people who participated in both of those projects, exhibitions, there was room, and it was insane. And so dreamers, part of this is finding a way to make room for whatever it is that's calling you, and trusting that it's leading to something far beyond what you could have imagined. Because 2 years ago, if anyone would have told me that I would graduate with my master's degree, first of all, second of all, have this burning desire to activate archives and build worlds in which the people who are typically neglected or overlooked, forgotten, not granted or kept out of certain spaces and, can't obtain particular resources, and that I would want to build spaces and build platforms and do those things for said people and said groups, like, in that there was a name for it all. I'd be like, you're lying. Like, this is not the case. And so, Dreamers, this series, is about doing that very thing and acknowledging all of the pieces of it. It's the triumph. It's my August 8th, but it's also all of the moments where I'm like, this is the dumbest shit ever. I don't know why I keep thinking this. I don't know why I think this is possible. No one sees it. I'm the only person who sees it clearly, and I can't figure it out, or I won't figure it out. Like, can I actually fucking do this? I have no idea. And so this whole thing is about believing in something out there. And I figure maybe the people who are in a similar predicament will find solace in this and will feel seen and understood and heard, even if our nuances, or even if there is nuance that we need to account for, that the overarching kind of emotional roller coaster will feel familiar and comforting in that way. But yeah, it's Sunday. And Sundays are, in fact, for dreamers.